Yeah, that's Ghosts and Goblins. Good, good spotting there. Right. So let me fix the. Of course, if you have problems hearing what I'm saying, let me know. I can't do much about it, but I'll do my best. Okay, so let's change this to a different color. I know most of you will prefer something darker. My astigmatism gets really problematic if I have this dark stuff. But for this, it's going to be okay. Right, so let me uncomment something here. I think this is from the last stuff. So we have the enum branch here. I'm going to rebase this one on the latest. So rebase that on master. Right. Okay. So the last version I think is this. So let me just make sure that this compiles. Yeah, it does. So as you see, from compared to last time, I think I swapped this style const enum to this style. So the reason why is because I think this way it feels so much less obtrusive. It feels like a variant of the enum. Whereas this this style, that would be introducing a new concept, and I had a hard time accepting that. I felt that this would just make people, having to learn two concepts and choose between them. I have a feeling, there's just a vague gut feeling, that if you write it like this, people, like if you compare, I guess I have to have something here. So if we compare these two, right, we have these two. Oh, hang on. I hope everyone sees the keyboard. Okay, oh, it is good, great. And why string is not constant. Okay, so anyway, so okay, so why? So this is if it, let me start all over. Okay, this is what it looked like last time we was doing things, right? So like this. So we could compare these two, right? And perhaps also this one. So we had all of these, okay? And we could also have a bit struct that's further down, but that's not important. So the thing was, if we have these two, you kind of, maybe I should always use const enum instead of enum, and you end up having this one as the default. It's more of a choice. If you have something like this, right? Now you see, okay, I want an enum, but I want a special kind of enum so that I don't need to. I mean, basically what the inline is, right? I don't care about so much about things. I'm just gonna convert this. Oh, I want a const enum, like this one with equals and stuff like that. And because it's just still enum on both sides, people hopefully will like think, okay, it's an enum, and when they decide they don't need like that const one, they'll do just this, right? And they'll start, you start with this, and this works perfectly until you decide, okay, I want a gap, I want this one. So then you have to declare it a const, right? And you lose some ability to do stuff like the names and so on when you do that, and you understand it's a new type, but it's you hopefully you start here, right? You start with hopefully you start doing it like this every time. Because right now there's no need, right? If you have this, there's no need for you to go to the const enum style. This is because the ordinal here will say that up is 0 and down is 1. That's like the automatic thing. It's not until you want to do like something weird that you need this. So the important thing here is like to nudge people into doing the common thing, because what also happens, maybe I should just turn on the camera. You can see my old and ancient face here. Okay, maybe I like that better. So the thing is that if you have a feature that you might use, and maybe people are saying like, use this particular feature because I use it for X, and now everyone should use it even if they're not using X. Like that happens a lot in programming languages. People are, oh, you need to use inversion of control, dependency injection. Like, I'm just writing a command line app. Like, oh, they're saying I need to use that. That kind of a cargo culting, where you kind of imitate what everyone else is doing because that's what like the pros are doing. That happens a lot. So a problem if you have like this, like two enums, and one of these enums are like C, and really useful when you are in working with C, and the other one is really useful if you do everything else. Like you're not using them as actually values, you actually use them as enums, right? What can happen is like everyone says like, oh well, in case you might need, let's use these C enums like because they are easier to understand and blah blah blah. They're more like C. If you have like people will do that and then not use the current enums. If you have something like this, like if you have something that says like very upfront, this is what you type in the beginning. So you have to decide, do I want an enum or do I want a const enum? Make a decision. And then you kind of stuck with that decision for a long time until you decide that, no, I want this other thing. So that's a mental, that's like a way we all kind of, or I am, that this is my thesis, right? So that people actually act like that. They write something and then they make the decision early on, and then it's harder to change that. So what you want to do is like make people postpone that. And if we say instead, you can use that, all you need to do, right? All you need to do to make it a new type of enum is to add this const afterwards, right? This doesn't feel like you're adding something. This is like a tweaking. Like you decided you want a long instead of an int. That's not a big deal. That's not changing how you think about it. So this is fine, right? But this is a completely different thing to most people. I would say people would just use the const enum, use the enums. Here's a team enum, here's the team const enum. That's what happens. So that's why I want this, right? That's why, or rather, this is why I think this const int works for me, because it's not saying, it's not making anything. How should I put it? It's not forcing you to do architecture up front. So architecture up front is like this huge problem that no one talks about, and that's like the big problem with object-oriented programming, is that you tend to want to like, oh, what classes should I do like have, and how should they relate to each other up front, and then as you discover the actual problem domain, which you do by programming, it's an exploration at the same time, right? As you do that, you find that these roles or this architecture that you already decided on, even if it's small, might not be correct, but it's so difficult because they are kind of separate. They're separated by these clauses where you have some data here, some data here, and moving them around often touches on everything else, even though we're supposed to do, encapsulation, but that doesn't help because the graph, like the objects, form a graph of dependency. So even if you move something, if you move something in a graph, that will also change the graph, right? So things will have to change, and that's why that's my main problem with object-oriented programming is that that is so hard to fix, and it's more of a problem if you have a lot of objects, like a lot of different objects. So I didn't find this to be a big problem in. Sorry, I'm like going out on a tangent here, but I didn't find this to be a problem in Objective-C because you have relatively few objects there. It doesn't encourage you to make a lot of objects. But on the other hand, C++ and Java, then you are supposed to like cut everything down to smaller and smaller pieces of objects, right, to solve the problem. And that's where we have problems. Let me see if you have some questions. So, okay, I'm just going to read here. So, what is good? Okay, enums are just enums that aren't just I don't know if there's like the enums that are not integers, if they are very useful, but anyway. So, what's the core difference between a const enum and a normal enum? So, a normal enum, that's the C3 enum, right? So with associated values, with an ordinal, with names, you can get the name of it, you can get data at runtime, all of that. The C enum is just a value, right? So it could be any value, and in order to see if in order to see if a value that you have, an enum value, is the same as whatever value you have to compare them using some comparison function. It depends on the type, right? So if you have a float enum, for example, then you have float comparison, which might not be exactly what you want. Right. But that's also the strength of it, right? So that's the C would just have plain plain integers. Here I'm just extending it with strings. The limitation, of course, is that while an integer enum would have this kind of thing that C has, right? You can refer to another enum value, you can jump, but you still have this increment, this automatic increment. But for a non-int enum, you would have to have every element defined, like that. So my thought here is that I'll basically I'll implement everything's implement, right? But there is a build option that I threw in but never wired up, which was called something like enum something. Let me see here. Enum. Oh, what? Okay, let's see here. I just put it juice. Oh, what? Didn't I get that one here? Use all slice. Okay, maybe I just put it in here, right? So, alright, maybe I didn't get that. That's sad. So, all slice, copy, right? But we can make, add then new enum style, enum syntax, new enums. That's better. Okay, so then we'll have to implement that as well. Well, it's here we have something else, right? Oh, yeah, that was new enums. So we have in target again, new enums is new enums. Did I? Oh wait, this is which one? This is the target, right? Okay, so I partially implemented this, I think. Right, so here we have like in these, yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So let's see here. I have that one. I want this to be the same. Okay. Right. Here we go. Again, right now, C-Line is really acting up. Really acting up. Okay. Here it is. Right, we build options so we can add match long use, new enums. And then we have new enums. So we have use old. Where is that? New enums used and new enum syntax and semantics. Right. And for ourselves now, we should turn that on. There we go. And use new enums. Right. Okay. So that's the first part. Right. Now we're gonna reject compiling stuff unless this flag is set, basically. And as you notice, I just put this as a command line option for now, and it should go in the project if we decide to keep this. Okay. Oh, it's slow now. Today we are going slow. I must have some program somewhere which is slowing this down, or just crashing things in C-Line. All right, so it's there, right? And I guess we won't see when things break because right now I'm just permitting everything, right? So let's go to parsing the globals, which are actually parse enum, right? So we are going to do something slightly different. So we are parsing it just like normal, but this inline stuff is not used if we're just going to allow the inline on values for normal enums. So C compiler and build, and we have new enums. If we have it, we consume it, otherwise it's false, right? And I'm going to do the lbrace here and get the if it's not apparent, then we do the inline. That's always going to work, so that's fine, right? And then we're going to do the const enum. That's not going to happen anyway, right? If it's not allowed, right? So we are not there. Then we're going to go into here, like if it's not, so compiler build new enums. Okay, so like this. If it's like that, then we're going to do like this, right? Or we're going to say like, maybe we're going to do it like this. Okay. If compiler. You can do like this. Inline parameters are not allowed with new for enums. Right, so that's going to happen if we have inline here. And maybe we should have this, right? So in this case, we're going to try to consume it anyway, right? But it's going to be an error to actually have that. Good. Right, so that actually takes care of a lot of stuff, because we can't have a feature that's, it's not there. So there are some things, right? We also want to enable casting, right? So we're gonna casting to the ordinal, casting from. So that's going to be a thing. So what we want to do now is basically the conversion for the normal enums. That's fine. Maybe I should just take all this and put it in a test somewhere, because this works. So we have enum add sub. Okay, just gonna have something, and we're gonna compile this enum const. So I'm gonna take all this, create some code for it. I think foobar wasn't used. Generate code means running the test and see what the output is, and then pasting that. So module. Now we're gonna try to avoid things that create a bit too much of the. Okay, I don't want this either. So the ABC one with inline, because that's not going to work. So we're removing that feature. That means I need to remove this one as well. And we remove this one. And I guess that is it. We can just have, I don't know. Maybe this, yeah, this is not int, right? So, nah, it's gonna be fine. So something like this. So now it's expecting a file somewhere there, and because I don't think I did anything with inline, right? So this looks fine, should work, hopefully, if I didn't keep that ABC somewhere. I do want to remove these as well. Anything with print n tends to be kind of long, unfortunately. All right, so that should be it. So now I'm gonna, like, behind the scenes here, kind of run the tests. And wait, these tests won't work, right? We talked about that. So these tests won't work because I have it turned off, right? But what happens if we say that with test, so we're gonna have our tester, the test suite runner, here it is, right? So it usually has, here are the arguments, right? So failed, so a small program. Somewhere here are the arguments that we usually use. So it's here. Okay. Somewhere. Test. There it is. Okay. So we're gonna command line push, and we push the enable, what did I say? Use new enums, right? Okay, what is this? Enum const. Okay, maybe I did. Oh, that's this one, right? Yeah, and it makes sense. It failed, right? So we're gonna stop this one. And just, maybe I can make it, run both. But I don't know. Should I add that or not? Let's just assume it works. So we're going to grab these inline ones from the standard library, kind of kill them off. Those tests. So let me. Okay. Apparently I didn't kill off the test suit runner. So now everything breaks. So there we go. Okay. Let's do this again. Or maybe no. Okay, wait. Inline parameters are not allowed for enums. What? Oh, it's this one, right? Circuit shutdown. Right. Does this work now? Right, if we have this, right, does it work? No, here's another one, right? Hash truncation width, right? And how is going to be like socket, blah blah blah. How? Where is that? This was what I changed. Okay, okay. Now, hey, how native value, right? Actually, I kind of like doing this manually better. Okay, somewhere else. Oh, it's just the main function is missing. Okay, let's add a main function. So let's see if we have some other place where we need to fix this, since we disallowed inline. And slowly compiling this. Okay, right. So now it should work. Right. Just use in a few small places there. So now test all. Let's run it. Meanwhile, I'll look at the chat. So okay. Nothing new, right? Okay. Do you have any questions so far? About all this. So feel free to ask. Oh, wait. What's that? Okay. Failed to resolve. Right. So now this failed. Did I have to? Oh yeah. Sorry about that. I need to fix this some way. I just keep postponing it. It's so stupid. What happens is that when I run a test, it's run as a separate process, right? So, but when I stop this, the way that the sub process works is that like I think I kill the main process, but everything else keeps on running. Maybe I should look at why that happens. So we have the test file. It's actually here, right? And it's running, synchronously. So so then we join that, right? And I wonder why it's not, stopping here. But I can probably look at, that standing out and stuff like that is working. Because at this point, I did a Control D or something, right? Or Control X. And it doesn't have standing out anymore. So what the heck could it, Oh, here we go. Here are some places where it fails. So enum lookup, right? Yeah. So enum lookup is just going to be completely removed, basically. So enum lookup can't work. So enum lookup, here, this one is gone. I can set skip on this one. Skip, I think. I think that was the argument. So let's see. There's a skip, right? Like, how do I skip things anyway? Isn't there a skip count? Okay, skip. Right, okay, only skipped, yeah. Right, okay, only skipped, yeah. Then, when you start parsing these, I'm not sure that it actually, cares. Damn, it's slow. It's like, right. So it does look at extension. Start with that, parse header directive, error, save, op, target application, file, expect, and nothing for skipped. So I don't have skipped. Not sure either if this would actually work. So I better just comment out things, I think. For example, we have this like enum, this one. It would just, just comment it out. And look up errors again. I mean, obviously this one will also go. Right. Lookup field works, right? So that one is okay. But the other ones don't work. Inline enums. Enum const. So our own example here still fails. I must be doing some inline here somewhere. Where is that? Oh, BD value, so that one has to go as well. Let's see your BD value, this one. And then we remove the BDE example. There we go. Inline enum compare. Inline enum compare. Also have to go. To remove this one. And then just this. Or we just, oh yeah, I will have to do that. Maybe that doesn't work though. Okay, I'll just close this one. And let's run it again. Meanwhile, we'll have a look at something else. So even though, as I said, we're killing off most of the features, there are still features that it can have. So you can still have something meaningful where you say that you want to have, the values. So we're going to go for a string here because that one has very meaningful values. So it's going to be like hello, and it's going to be BD is going to be world, right? And it's going to be a const. So what we want to do is we want to support at compile time. Going to get these values, right? So we're going to have value, and we have a foo, and I think that's values. I use this so rarely, so I forget myself. Then for each, and then we have just going to have print and on each of those. So that should be showing me all the values in there, right? So we should say like one hello and one world. Okay, I got something from the inner const, so we're gonna put it here. So that's inner const. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here. Where is inner const? There it is. Let's trim some fat off this one. Right, we don't need the main. We don't really need a test, but we can keep that. Let's remove the headers here and there. There we go. So many. Okay. Damn it, that's really a lot. So we can skip those. There's another one. Start to get lazier. Yeah, okay, so let's see that's it, right? And now we can, I think it's crashed, or not crashed, it just stopped here. Enum lockup, because I added this skip on it, right? And we don't, we just can do this, right? And now we remove the expect, so now it's not expecting anything. I think this should probably work. Okay, I'm just going to check the chat again. All right, so not really a question. I don't understand what and why, so I just bump into it one day when programming asks what's happening. Now I just broke in my head on how to return a slice by copy instead of reference without allocating something in the function. I don't know if I have functions. So if you have a slice and you want to return it by copy, you can think of the slice as just a pointer. So you're returning a pointer, right? Plus length. So if it's created, if the slice is created in that particular function, then you need to heap allocate or temp allocate. Otherwise, that data goes away. So the pointer in the slice is a dead thing. So that's it. So you want to return a slice by copy. There is no way to do that without actually copying it into the heap or the temp allocator. I can show you how to do that if you just show me your code. You can tell me if you paste it into on the Discord or something. Oh right. Oh, we got a lot of errors here. Whoa. Whoa. How come it still reads this stuff? This should be commented out, right? So why is it? Oh, errors that never occurred. Of course. These errors won't occur because, they are not happening. Right, so we have to remove all this, by hand. Hooray! I could do assertion and replace, but the sunken cost fallacy here in practice. It's already done this by hand, so now I don't want to, do it. Okay, we have something else, right? So inline parameter not no, so error inline enums. There we go. And look up. Sorry, that was yeah, inline enums. C. Okay. Inline enums. What? Okay. There's supposed to be an inline enum C3. It's a C3T. Okay, that's good. I thought I was seeing words. So this one obviously also can't work. So we're gonna comment it out again. And we don't expect it anyway. So like this, right? So we have two of them not working, and that's gonna be fine, right? Anyway, we are back to this stuff that we are doing here. I'm just gonna interrupt this call here. So force quit it. Okay, so we have this. Like, will it work or will it not work? I don't know. It won't work, by the way. It won't work because I know that values are not checked for the const enums. Okay, here we go. Faster, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, so what did I do? I forgot this, right? No method, yeah. So there are no method like that. Okay, so then we have to look at the SEMA for handling these. So there's one for type access something. It's in symbols, right? So here we go. Somewhere here, yeah. So this is called. This is when we end up into doing something like foo dot something, and we want to look up the properties and see if they're valid for the given type. So in this case, we have a bunch of properties, right? So depending on the type, so inner is supported by a bunch of them, right? And then we have stuff like name of and so on. They are usually always allowed. But look, we have property length, right? It's just supported by enum. It's not supported by, the by our const enum here. So if we want that to work, we kind of have to add it here. So here, we get elements, property associated, and so on. So elements, that would be like the val. Oh, hang on. One of those are deprecated, I think. So I think it's, let me see here. So the elements is that one, the deprecated one. Yeah, elements is deprecated. So instead you want to use something with its length. No, you're going to use, values are going to be the values of it. So these should also be supported by, the type kind equals type enum or type. Since we're doing this type kind all over and over again here, I think, right? Do we have that, right? No, the original type. Hang on, so that's not the same thing, right? But we do have type kind quite a bit. Okay, done. Never mind. Type kind. Oh, type kind equals type const enum. Okay, so now we enabled it, but doesn't mean it works. Actually, elements is not something we need to support. So we're just going to support names and values. So what happens if we have values? It's going to assume that we have enums right now, but we don't, right? So it's going to have to look different. So okay, so it's not, the values are not supported by dynamic type ID. Oh, good. And we have these, okay, member access. Let me see where we have the, okay, so here we go. So we have properties values, we have properties, names and so on. So expression, we're going to replace this with an enum array, it says, right? So, and it's assuming that we have an enum, right? But we that's not what we have. So we have, in this case, we have a type, and the type kind is, because if we flatten things, we're just going to see the underlying types. So it's valid for type, right? And we do see that it's, oh, I just can unclip. Okay, so flat type, we don't use that one. So sorry for being like ranty here. So if it's now it's a type const enum, in that case we want to rewrite it with our values, and we're going to have like const enum array, const enum array, and it's just going to have a type decal, right? So type decal, and this one doesn't exist yet, so we're gonna have to create. So we're gonna borrow from this one since I am lazy, and this is the easiest way to get it right. So this one already handles all the weirdness here. So we want to say, okay, so we have a const enum, we have an array, an expression that we want to overwrite. So we are getting the values, and this is correct, right? So we have the values just like in enum, and we want to do kind of, we want to have an initializer list with all the elements, and the kind of this is going to be, this is going to be the values, right? So it's not going to be, we're still going to use the type, right? So you guys can use the type. So we're going to have, we can't say it's a const, it's not going to be a const enum, right? It's just going to be the underlying type. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the values, each of them, and then we're going to do a copy, single copy x, something like that. I don't get any code completion here because it's like, it's so slow now, right now. So x single copy, but hang on, can't you code complete? What's wrong? I don't remember the order of that one. Single copy, let's say it's that. We have the decal, and it has the here we go. It is the enum constant, and then it has a value. There we go. So we're going to copy this one. It's not enum single copy, apparently. Exp copy something. Single exp copy single. So like this, copy express loop. Right. So we copy this one, and then we're actually done. And the type is going to be an array of the elements, and the elements were, what is the kind here? So the kind is the dot. This kind of looks like it should work. So we could actually just print it out, not do this. So we can do this, foo values. So what it should do is to print hello world, right, as an array. But if it does, I don't know. Oh, it crashed. There you go. No, it didn't crash. I thought we were in a crash. Okay. No method inner union on foo values found. Okay. That's not great. Let me just check what everyone has written. So, okay. use a temp allocator when need compare something. Fun challenge, social. Okay. Right. Okay, so I think Windy Castle there found something to do here. Let me see if anyone is writing anything in the Discord to me. No. Okay. Well, let me just continue then. Implementing this. So why doesn't this work? So we are in this Systema. We can actually look at where this happens. So no method or inner struct union. All right. So we are clearly hitting it here. So, and we already, went here. Didn't find it const. Okay. Check for type method. Okay, if it has sub methods, that's true. This is in constant. No, okay. Type methods, unions. I don't know why it is not detected. Okay, we're gonna go to this place. Okay, wait, hey, maybe it's earlier, right, before this even. This is macro says analyze access, right? And then we have the type early. Type info is a const member. We solve the access. Type access. It should be here. It should be here. Maybe it's just the wrong type. So let me see here. I might have did a lot of other things here, unfortunately. Chances are good that I'll hit something else. OS type, yeah, exactly. So we hit a lot of things that I don't want to hit. Okay. And then we end up with this failure in the end. But we should get to this point, right? So we should get into this. Maybe that could be the first hit. Hopefully. And now it's super slow. I don't know. I don't know why this is super slow, but it is. Okay, force with. Okay, Sid play was crazy down, and I have a lot of other things that might, just gonna close those as well here. All right. Okay, so we are here, and no, it's Wasm. Damn it. I wanted to go here. I want to place the breakpoint there instead. Now we're in values. Okay, right. So now everything is good. So we step to the next line. If you can do that, thank you. Try to find a member. There are no members like that. Yeah, search of a null. And then we're going to check for type method. This is the one, right? So, no, that's a that's a type method. Maybe it's here. So we enter this slowly, right? And then we have some resolve type method. Oh, okay, wait, these are the type methods, right? So those are, if you have like foo dot bar and that's a function, this is not what I wanted. Okay, so, let's jump out of that. So it's not a type method, of course. It's not a member. Oh, and then it just goes to no inner. Damn it. I think it should then be something somewhere else. What the heck is eating all that CPU? Like Sea Lion is, you are drunk. Sea Lion is like eating 300% of the CPU. I'm just going to say goodbye to Sea Lion. Goodbye. Like it's not even closing down. Right. Sorry, folks. But yeah, no, not Vim. Right. Let me just see if the. Okay, so now it actually did close. So let me restart it and I'll give you the screen shortly when it comes back. So, Sea Lion, wake up. So it's, it consumes less CPU when it's starting up than when it's running. Right. Okay. So it's there now. You can see it yet. I think you see the old screen or something. So let me let's see. That's the one, right? And I guess gonna try to fix it for you. Sea Lion, where are you? There you go. Oh wait, did I just have another thing in the background? I might have a C++ program in the background. No, it isn't. I thought it was one, but it isn't. I mean, that could have explained things, but this doesn't explain anything. Okay, so damn it. Okay, I hope you are seeing something at least on the screen. Sorry. Right. Micro editor. No. Okay. Right. So okay, we are here. It shouldn't happen. So the way I have to handle this is basically, let's turn off the standard library. Standard library will do things, like analyze things before we get to the point that we go into the code, where we are actually interested in things. So there are probably some clever ways to use debugger, but right now this is just dead slow. It didn't used to be this way. Sea Lion, what have you done? This is like when they started to use the writer. No. Okay, so now it's like, okay, my delete key in Sea Lion doesn't work. That's a great, Yeah, okay. Can I delete? Thank you. Okay, now I can actually change things again, hopefully. Right, so now I turn off the standard library. We can just look at what happens in more details, but we have to turn off some things. We can't print things anymore, so we're just going to get out of a string array, right? String slice, more like it. From here. That's what we're expecting it anyway. Okay. Or maybe we expect an array of foo, right? Well, that's what we expect. Okay, it's recompiling things for no particular reason, and then we should come into this place where it fails. So let me jump back a bit while it's doing something incomprehensible. Yeah. I don't know who I should blame. Like, is this useful. And on the top of this, like sometimes when I do code completion, it suddenly jumps and inserts some random shit. I have no idea why. Like, yes, I want some random shit into my stuff. That's like the perfect thing. Okay, it's not const, right? So you can just jump in. Yeah, so you can get the type property. You get the property values. Is it valid for the type? So the type is blah, blah, blah. No! Of course it fails. It fails because here it looks at the type, right? So hang on here, but we are always flattening. So or is the original type we need to have. So right, so that one is the only one that's going to work. That's the flattening for you, which is a bit concerning, to be honest. Yeah, we use the original type here. Probably don't need canonical thing. Yeah, it's already canonical form. Yeah, that's right. Canonical type. Then change. Jump back. Please jump. It's so slow. What the F is going on? It's like it's doing. I mean, it's not even highlighting the C code. Like what is it doing? It's like doing some random. Like I have some. Is it an AI assistant or some shit that is turned on or something? Like, oh, I want to know back, so I don't even have that. So why the heck is this going so slowly? There's no reason. There's nothing happening. Like there's literally nothing happening. And what Clang tidy 100%. Okay, now CLine is using 20. That's reasonable, you know. It's not for 50%. What the hell? I'm not inputting anything. Nothing is happening. Stop doing weird stuff. Like give me that. Yeah, thank you. Right. So now it should work. Okay, it's okay, so that compiles. Now just add the standard library. It's so frustrating when it's slow. I don't understand C++ programmers. Like I program in C++, but I don't call myself a C++ programmer. Could never be one who would like straight face like saying, "Oh, let's use C++ because that's a great thing to have enormous compile times." It's I don't know. That's just incredibly slow. And now look at it. It ate all my CPU again. Right. Now it doesn't even seem to like a Windows server is doing something funny with 60% of the CPU. What the F? Like, hello. Oh, selecting. Yeah, a progress bar selecting word at the, that's really what anyone needed, right? Okay. Might be that the highlighting is slow. But this is just getting insane. So this is broken, right? So the syntax here is broken. So maybe it's like going crazy because it's broken or something. I don't know. Damn it. Hello world, we got it, right? Okay, so far so good, and there are more things that want to support. Sorry for that outburst, by the way. So, what else do we support? We support names, values, and length. We should support length too, right? We should support, f type. Let's what if the blah blah qualif the original type kind equals type const enum. True. Right. So we have a few that I want to make sure that it works. So we want this to work. So foo names, right? And we want println also foo_len. These are the ones we want to make work. Right. So these will crash now. Let me show me a crash. Thank you. Or an error or something. No, not a crash. That should be crash. There should be a search here, hopefully. There we go. Okay, so rewrite to type property. Right, where are you? Values. Okay, so type property, and we have the names, right? So it is assuming that we have that. So if it's type, then we have a, it's this one, or I think this should work on the values because we just need the names, right? So that will work. I don't need to do anything else. So or the type kind is type const enum, right? So then it should work. Then we have the length, right? So we have the length somewhere. Please create const length, so flat. So if it's an enum, again it uses the flat thing, right? So that's a problem, really. So it needs to have both type and type flat. So this is to allow distinct types to have a length, which makes sense in some cases, but not in all. Type flat. Right, so, okay, I guess this is it. If type kind equals type const enum. In that case, we can go to, let's use some goto when we have it. Yes, it's ugly. But it works, god damn it. So okay, that was length. So now I think I kind of fixed both. Questions so far? I do like when you do C++, you can feel magical, but yeah, the compile time, yeah. So compile times are the reason why compile times is why this is such an important thing. I think is that you want to have this, a virtuous cycle of doing something, testing it, and then go back and refactoring and all of that. Like if you try to refactor something, you often can do that by like change something, and then a name is a name. So you change the name, and then the compiler will tell you where you did wrong. But if compile times are long, the time it takes for you to actually get the errors is long, then you can't really do that. So yeah, let me see if I can do this, and then I guess well, we've had some time we've been at this for about an hour, so maybe I'll drop it here. But I think we have all the functionality. Oh, it crashed. So let's see. It replaces enum names, right? So there's something wrong here. So can I get to it? All right. Please. I think I know what the problem is, though. It's this enum decal here. So what's that? It looks all garbled, right? Completely garbled. So why is that? Well, it's because when we did this, we're using flat, right? So again, it's flat coming to haunt us. So type, so we're gonna have like if we are gonna have to do it slightly different. So if we have a type here, right? In this case, we are going to return this, but with the type. Right, so we have type decal. Now we can remove this part, and we should be golden. So if you have a search like, and then I can put the breakpoints on the search, that just makes it so easy to just go back. You can't really do this kind of coding in C++, right? Or you can do it, but it's so painful. Because if every cycle is like 1 minute, it's just in 1 minute it's like fast in many cases. So it's just okay, we got it. So we have our world, right? We can have the names of those, right? Those A, B, B, D, and we do have the length. And I think that's like the stuff, all the stuff that you need. I am not sure what happens if I have this by type ID. So let's say we have a type ID T here, right? And can we get the length, and is it correct? Right, so if we have a type ID like this, and then we want to do this T len, can we get that? I don't remember anymore. But let's see. Let's see if it works. Right, so this is using the runtime information. So there's a small amount of runtime information, but oh, here we are. No, okay, it didn't crash. I was like, every time the debugger pops up, I'm thinking like, yeah, now we have another crash here. What do we get? Do we get it? Compiles, right? But does it say 2? No, it says 0. Right, so we didn't have that. Where is that then? Well, it's in, turns out it's in LVM and CodeGen for the types. So we're going to get like some raw, I think we call it still raw enum here, right? I'm going to change that name, of course, but so it's going to be const enum. Okay, so we have a here somewhere we have this stuff. Okay, wait, hang on. So what were these things for the enum global? So we have the type, we have the length, Ooh. So I can just put in, where do I have it? So the enum here, we do something special, but with const enum, all I need to do here is set the length. And the length of this one is, you know, do we have the, yeah, so the type decal enums values, right? So vec size of that, right? And now we do get the this. Okay, hang on. Why didn't the Wix size work? Is it the Wix size? No, yeah, it's Wix size like that. What I wonder is, do any of the other ones work? So t names, right? T values. They shouldn't work, but I'm just curious here. There's no method of values, but apparently, is there one names? Right, so, okay, names is bad, right? Because, of course, you want, what will it do? Like, I could do anything and have names and then print that, right? So, that should be fine. So, I think we're golden here, to be honest. This gives you the right stuff. So we do have the reflection going to. We added a switch to make sure that it worked. If we don't switch, all right, if we turn off this switch, what happens then? Edit. And don't use that, use new enums. What happens? It shouldn't compile, of course. But let's comment out this part, right? We can just make it into a normal enum, right? So an enum. And just int with a string. So that works. And now let's see what happens here. Right, it compiles, and everything else compiles. That's like the important thing. So, so we're done here. So I'm just going to check this in and say, you know, reflection for const enums. Turn const enums on off. Right. Commit and push to the branch, and I will need to, no, it won't work. So because I will need to force push it. Right. Always look what you force push to before you do that. Okay, so we are here. We are done. Anything final here? No. I know. Do you have any questions? Any questions from you watchers? Just, I'll give you like 3 seconds, as usual, to ask ask me a question. But otherwise, like we gotten so far. I hope people try this out. So to recap a little, what we're doing here is we're still allowing this, right? So we're still allowing this style. But we are also introducing this style. which is again same, but now there's no backing ordinal. The only thing that's there is just these strings, right? So that you can compare them. And if you have a backing int, then it's just, you could even have like this, and then you don't need to have that. But you can't have these associated values are not allowed. So if you try that, like this, right, you'll get a compilation error because those are not allowed on. Oh, okay. I don't know. I need to turn it off on, right? So it was again use new enums, right? Usually I have turn off, right? So maybe I should do it. So const enums cannot have associated values. There you go. What happens though? Just want to check one thing. So if I just do this, it shouldn't work. So name off, right? So if I do that, it will reject it because it will say that string doesn't have. Oh. It will say that int doesn't have this, or oh, that was foo. Okay, sorry. That will work. But if we have a constraint, constring, then it will reject the name of, right? There is no field or method foo name of, right? Maybe we should have a better thing here for that, but for now, this is it. Okay. Thank you, folks, for watching. I hope I answered some questions here. So, goodbye, and have a great Friday.